In this session we're going to have a look at the structure for the little black book and then go create a form to help with data entry. So first of all, you should actually go into the design view of the table to get an idea of what are the different fields that are in here. You notice that we've got a friend's ID, which is primary. It's also no duplicates. We've got first name and it's short text. We've got an example up there, but you notice that in the caption it's got no caption at the moment. So that means in our form, the first name would actually come out with no space. We would have to go edit it each time we want to use that field. But if we put a caption on top of it, we don't have to worry about putting the space in. So you can put first name, and that will now show with a space. But when we reference it in a query or want to use it in the database, we know as a programmer that it doesn't have a space. Last name also has the same issue. So we can easily adjust that. Now, some other things that are in our database is optional fields and required fields. Currently, street is required, but these days not everyone has an address, or you need to know their address. So I would actually change street to not being required. Same with the town. And phone number, generally everyone needs a phone number, but I want to also change this. Rather than a home phone, I want this to be mobile, because most people are contactable now by mobile phone. And birthday has an input mask that allows us to format it appropriately for the database to keep consistency with user input. So what we want to do now is go back to the view. We're going to save this. Now you notice that our field names at the top now have the spaces in them, and our mobile phone is now present as a column. Now if we go through and add some information to this, so first name Leon, last name Marsden, and then we go street 123, downtown, town, which is a suburb, so we can put River Run. Mobile phone, we'll just enter in 0101, that'll do. Birthday, you could put in 10th, just put in January, 80. Now you notice we've got an error with our input mask for this, so I'm going to push escape and escape again to remove the data, because it won't allow us to go adjust the table until we've removed the data that we're currently working on. So I'm going to head into the birthday and I'm going to head down to the caption and I'm going to click on the wizard. So now we can come in and we can actually go, it's going to be the medium date. Click on next. This is the date they have. You could try it, so we can go down the bottom now and go the 10th. Let's go January again, and let's go 01. Click on next, and then click finish. And this will automatically use the wizard to correct our input mask. So we can then save this, go back to our view. Once again, let's enter in some information. Leon, Marsden, street 123, downtown, the town or the suburb, River Run, mobile phone 01010101, that'll do. Birthday 10th Jan, and we could put in there 90. Click on tab. Now the hashtags come up because the column's not wide enough. So whenever you see in a report, or if you see in a field or a form, if you've got those hashtags, then you know what that's doing. So once we've done that, we've actually entered in our first bit of data. But you notice it's very cumbersome to go through and actually create and enter our data this way. The other problem you've got is it's very easy to go and delete. You can actually select a whole list of things and delete them very, very quickly. So databases have a form. A form is a template that sits over the top of a table that allows users to enter in information or employees to work with the data without having access to the whole back-end data table. So we can go into create, and we're actually going to use the form wizard. I like to use the wizard to create the form and then go back in and edit the form rather than creating it item by item as you go. It's more time effective. So once you've selected the form wizard, you come in, you're presented with the table you want to select. So if you've got multiple tables, you can pick which one you want to have a look at. So the first thing I want to show is the ID. Then you go through and basically put in the first name, the order at which you want to be able to tab through the form in, last name, etc, 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 all the way down. Now you can do them one at a time, otherwise you can just do the bulk entry by just clicking the double arrow. Click on next. It then gives you different views. Column view is the most common one. Otherwise you've got tabular, which starts looking like a spreadsheet, data sheet, which does look like a spreadsheet, or you've got a justified one. We'll generally be working in the column one. Click on next. You then need to give it a form name. Now we can't use TBL. TBL means table. So for a form we go FRM. Once we're finished, we want to basically open the form view or enter information. Otherwise you can go straight into design depending on which one I want to click. I'm going to open it in the finish view to have a look at, and then we'll be able to go in and do some editing. So let's click on finish, and there's our form. You notice that on our left hand side we've also now got a section for forms, and all our forms will appear here and all our tables will be above, and then eventually we'll have reports, etc. So this is our very first piece of data. You notice down the bottom, if I click the next one, it's blank. I can go in and put someone else in here. First name Bart, last name Simpson, street 27 Evergreen, TCE, and you go town, mobile phone numbers, all those sorts of things. Birthdays again, Jan 10. And then when I push tab, notice it's gone to the third one. So now I can actually use the arrows and cycle back to the first one and second one. But at the moment it doesn't look very presentable. So I can actually go into the design of this by clicking on design view. I can then go through and start editing some different things. Like if I select the actual title, I can then go through and adjust the colors of this. Go down to font name. If I want to change the font, I can do so. I can change the font size, I can change the alignment, I can select font color, and go through and make adjustments where I'd like. I can add a picture to this if I'd like and search for a picture. Otherwise I can make adjustments to the form as we go through. So as you can tell, we can make some easy adjustments. If I want to move things around, we can just click on those and move them around. To start with, we'll be using a pretty basic form, but as we go through this course we'll actually get more creative with our designs. So that's how we can easily make a form, and when you finish making adjustments, just save that, go back to form view, and you can actually see the adjustments that you've made. So this is a much better way of presenting information to the end user than giving them access to the table where the information is directly stored.